Hi again, everyone. Welcome back to Shining Empathy. My name is Joel, and this is your full moon reading for February 10th, 2017. So this one kind of caught me off guard. I was expecting more closer to like the 15th, which is sort of the average for a full moon, just based on the dates and stuff. It wasn't. It's falling on the 10th. And I even remember maybe about 5 days ago looking up at the moon, and I've learned how to look at the moon and tell pretty much where it is in its phases and how far off from the next phase, just by looking at it, which is just a great little piece of knowledge to have. But thinking, oh yeah, the full moon's about 5 days out, but not relating that to a date, what date it was, or what date that might end up being. And so it just sort of caught me off guard. But the last couple of days, I've been having just a lot of like crazy energy kind of pouring in, definitely feeling very energized and sort of just like restless and needing to do stuff. Yeah, it's just I could definitely feel the effects of the full moon coming. And then I saw a couple articles, I think, about the full moon coming up and was just like, when is the full moon? And I actually had to look it up. And it's today. So I am getting this out today, thankfully, so it will be out on time. But yeah, so this one just sort of caught me off guard. But I'm definitely feeling the energies of it. The new moon, my last moon reading, which would be the new moon, was very much about sowing the seeds of some really interesting spiritual path stuff, like opening the heart, and based on what's happening in the world, the heart chakras are just opening and kind of looking inside and seeing how we can contribute something good to the world. Because if obviously we can't save the world, so with the state that it's in, we want to, but we can't on an individual basis. But together, if we all kind of like look into ourselves and give something good to the world back, we do much more than we realize, especially collectively. So that was sort of just on the surface of what the last new moon reading was about. So I'm eager to find out what everyone's been up to, energetically, collectively. I'm eager to see what this full moon is sort of bringing for us. So let's just dive in and start reading. I'm going to continue with the same format that I did before, where in my last weekly reading, I'm going to read the cards towards the camera, so you guys will just be able to see the cards. I'm hoping based on the light. It's actually really kind of even lighting right now because it's snowing outside right now, and we're supposed to get a big snowstorm here in Toronto. And yeah, so I've just got some really even white light on me right now, which is great. So hopefully that will read well for the cards. So I'm just going to ask the cards that we just want to know what is going on with the energies of this full moon, what's going on for this cycle, what do we need to know, what do we need to prepare for. All right, so I'm going to pin it right down here. That should do it. Okay, so I'm going to lay all the cards out for us. All right, this full moon is centered around financial constraints being the root of this. So let's find out a little bit more about that. Toward romance. It's hard to read stuff like this for like people collectively, like for like my group readings, like for online like this. It tends to be very connected to relationships, especially romantic relationships. So I might actually say that the financial constraints here might actually be connected to our romantic relationship somehow. Financial constraints can sometimes go beyond just money, though. I find it sometimes just whatever it is, it's the resources that we feel we need. Maybe we're just not getting them in terms of our relationships right now. Or maybe our relationship, our opportunities in our relationships will help support us in this. It's kind of hard to say for a collective group like this, so I might just keep going, and if more information kind of fills out on that as I move forward, I'll come back to it. What's directly feeding this, though, is the sixth chakra opening. So, which means that as our third eye opens, the sixth chakra, ajna, we are, I believe that's called ajna. Yes. It allows us to see past the illusions of this world, the illusions that we sort of craft for ourselves. It lets us see more truth in reality. So as our third eye has been opening, we're seeing more truth, and that's directly feeding the situation. I want to see what we're seeing. We're seeing our commitments. We're actually seeing where our resources have been tied up in. And we're seeing how by putting our resources, especially our financial resources, in those things that we've committed ourselves to, we sort of just like weighed ourselves down. We've committed ourselves to things that don't necessarily serve us anymore. So it's time to sort of redirect that by the sounds of it. Door to spirit and door to romance, kind of interesting, kind of coming up back to back here. But both of the, like whenever you see a door in the cards like this, it generally means that there's an opportunity to move forward through into a new phase of life, an opportunity for evolution, for growth. It tends to mean that kind of stuff. So maybe we'll even say more so there's an opportunity here for romantic growth in this card, okay? If any of you are in romantic relationships. But yeah, so as the third eye opens and we see the truth, we're seeing how our resources, our resources are being all tied up in these commitments, and we aren't getting the resources that we need to do what we feel we need to do, especially for spirit. Because spirit being in our growth spot means that we are growing and evolving, becoming more aware spiritually right now, consciousness. Let's actually see what else we've got here. This puts us in a much more confident role in terms of our spirituality. We're seeing, I think we've just got more of a handle on who we are, what we want, and it feels like we're ready to sort of share those resources with the world. Like we kind of maybe have more of a handle on what we can give. The woman right here, you could even think of her as just straight up a wealthy woman, sort of a queen on her throne here almost. But she knows what she has to give the world. She knows the power that she has. She knows the authority. She also knows the physical resources that she has to give. And being on top of spirit here, it sounds like there's an opportunity for us to move into a new phase where we're sort of embodying this with spirit. We are essentially going to be in a place where we're confident with who we are and what we are spiritually, what our place is in this world and in our lives, our purpose, and we'll have a better idea on what we can give the world, what we have to give back here, okay? Which is kind of cool. Challenge, though, is family. So let's actually dive in a little deeper there before we go on. This is really interesting because happy family and community can sort of mean one and the same to a degree. Family tends to relate directly to blood family sometimes, but anytime community comes up, it usually means family, but like these people are your tribe. These people are the people that, regardless of if they're blood related or not, you connect with them, you resonate with them. For right now, in this moment in time and place, and in this situation, they are your brothers and sisters, and they are walking with you on this journey. So it's interesting to see that and happy family coming up both in the challenge spot. It sort of tells me that we might be feeling somewhat disconnected from the people or the communities that we want to be connected with during this time. Maybe we don't have the support from our family of choosing what we want to be doing. Maybe our family's going, no, you've got to make money, you've got to do this. And at the same time, maybe because we haven't been walking that path yet, we haven't met the people that are truly resonating with us, that are our tribe. So it sounds like there's definitely some issues around family and with feeling connected to that community, that tribe that I was speaking of. So we'll see where that goes. All right, in our opportunity spot, there is an opportunity here to get out of the sanctuary, the safe place that we've created for ourselves. We all make a safe space for ourselves. Sometimes it's our home, sometimes it's in our routine, sometimes it's in the relationships that we have, or all the above. But whatever it is, there's an opportunity here to leave that sanctuary behind for at least a bit. Let's see maybe what it's for. Okay. The sun's shining here on this opportunity, which essentially is just a ton of creative energies coming in. Sort of like the universe shining all this energy in and pouring this energy in that's just like, here's a great big buttload of energy for you, and you can do with it what you will. You can create with it whatever you want to create with it. And based on everything I'm reading here, it just sounds like we're more in line with ourselves spiritually to know what it is that we really want to create in our lives. Regardless of what other people might think we should be creating, we kind of know what we want to be creating. So the sun is pouring in on this opportunity here and giving us the energy and the creative power and everything to allow us to kind of venture outside of our safe place, because we know that we want to use that energy, we want to harness that. In our strength spot, okay, we have an open heart chakra, and that's I think just coming more from the last reading, from the last new moon reading, where the heart chakras were opening. But it sounds like heart chakras are open. We are feeling our feels. But it also means that we're in more of a state of empathy. We're more in a state of feeling other people's feelings. When our hearts are open, we don't just feel our stuff, we feel other people's pain as well. And that can be, sometimes overwhelming and difficult to deal with, but it can also be an empowering moment, because we can kind of see ourselves in everybody, and it really lets us know how connected we all are. So right now, that is in our strength spot. Let's see what else it's dealing with here. With our hearts being open and with our ability to feel and connect and empathize, we also have strength in patience. We are less impatient right now, which means that we have the ability to just, if we need to wait, we're okay. We can sit and we can wait this out, whatever that means. But patience is on our side in strength for this cycle here. So pretty cool to see that come up in the strength spot. What this is all coming to is a place of intense focus. It means that we're going to finally have something tangible to work with here, and it's going to really hold our focus for a while. Maybe just for this moon cycle, or maybe longer, who can say? Let's have a look at maybe a little bit more here. Whatever it is that we're holding the focus here, whatever that guy is holding in his hand, he's obsessively, almost you could say, focused on it. The magician in the mirror comes up. And this card is about sort of taking the energies of like the sun and the universe, the energy that, the power that we all have to create, to manifest. And he's got a balance here. So he's got a balance. In one hand, he's got the ability to imagine it, to manifest it in his mind. But he's also got the ability to manifest it and create it in the physical world. You need a balance of those two. The mirror is also kind of an interesting thing, because whatever it is we manifest and create is sort of a mirror for ourselves. Everything. It's an aspect of ourselves that we can learn more about ourselves. So it sounds like whatever this is, we'll be learning more about ourselves, and we're really going to be harnessing that kind of that mega manifestation power for this moon cycle. All in all, really great cards. I don't think I need to really come back here. I think this just kind of, I think this door to romance, kind of coming back to this, I think it just sort of means that there's opportunity for learning here in romance. I'm going to read it that way, because that's sort of what it feels like. Especially right over top of the door to spirit here. It just feels like there is opportunity to learn something from romantic relationships. Maybe about yourself in romantic relationships, even if you're not in a romantic relationship. But just learning things about yourself and how you are, your patterns, your behaviors, your thoughts, stuff like that, all right? And funny enough, this is all in the root of it. So like, maybe this is part of what's causing the situation for a lot of you, okay? Let's see what the last message from Spirit is. Contract. So this speaks about putting our name to paper. This speaks about kind of a real commitment going on here. There can also be a bit of justice in this here, especially with the scales here. But this is blind justice as far as like it's not like anyone's being favored here. The scales are being weighed, and it's not being handed out in an unfavorable way. It's however the scales of karma kind of go out is how this is going to be dealt out. So whatever your karma is, etc., etc. But I feel like this is much more about kind of business or opportunities to start new projects, yeah, stuff like that. Maybe we'll have one little card about that. Whatever this is, this contract that's coming up for some of you, and this might literally be a contract, okay? You might literally be starting a new chapter in work, like starting a new job somewhere and signing a new contract, a new term, whatever it is, or you're faced with an issue around a contract right now, and maybe you're going to turn that contract down. Whatever this contract is, it's going to require mega strategy. Whether this is something that you follow through with or not, it's going to require strategy either way, okay? So you're still going to have to do a lot of planning, whether this opportunity here with business is taken or left behind, okay? So get out the strategy, put pen to paper, even if that's just a matter of trying to like organize your thoughts properly. Just get it down on paper, make a list so that it's not just flying around in your head and feels like a great big mountain that it just isn't possible to deal with, okay? All right, everyone, that is your reading for the full moon for February 10th, 2017. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, please go ahead and like the video. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Shining Empathy. You can also catch me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Shining Empathy. And yeah, I think that's it. So until next time, everyone, love and light to you all. Bye for now.